Back making some videos for you folks as the sickness is starting to dissipate a little bit, so I'm happy to finally get some content out there for you. In this video, we're going to be talking about the injuries that's sustaining right now for the Detroit Lions. Offensive line, DeAndre Swift. We're going to talk about these injuries because they're starting to mount up, and the Detroit Lions signed a player. We're going to get into the depths of that player. But before we get into today's video, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. The more subscribers we get, the more chance that this stuff gets pushed out there. Let's begin. Amani Oruwariye did not practice today for the Detroit Lions. That's not good because we need him out there in the secondary for Detroit. We're going against a team in the Washington Commanders that is extremely fast, and they have a lot of speed, and the Lions are 0-1, and we need to have our best players out the field right now to cover some of these speedy wide receivers, and having Amani out there is really important. What does it mean going forward? Well, I don't believe it's something that's going to take him out of the game. You know, he's dealing with some setbacks regarding issues and pain, but when you're going through the NFL game and NFL, season, you're going to have that. So this could be a precautionary thing with Amani Oruwariye, and hopefully it is. And he's good to go for Sunday, but it definitely is a cause for concern. How concerned are you right now for the Detroit Lions injuries? Put that in the comment section. Put I am concerned or I'm not concerned. I'm curious to see what you think on this one. Another injured player right now that we're dealing with is DeAndre Swift. He did not practice again. This is 2 days in a row. Now, Swift said yesterday he should be good to go, right, for the Sunday's game. And let's hope so, because DeAndre Swift is the Detroit Lions' primary player on offense. If you look what we did last week, 144 yards, touchdown. Swift was a game changer, and we need him on the field every single game this year. It's not his ability that he brings to the Detroit Lions. It's his availability that gives cause concern for our guy, DeAndre Swift. So he did not practice today. And in all honesty, we really probably don't need him to practice, rest his body up for week 2 on Sunday against the Washington Commanders, but I'm a little concerned. I'm absolutely concerned with some of the injuries that's taking place, because even if you look at the offensive line here, the offensive line has just continued to get injured. Guess what? Another injury. Tommy Kreamer, placed on injured reserve for the Detroit Lions. He was our primary backup for the offensive line. He's not going to be in for Lions for a while. That really hurts, because he's our backup. Why does it hurt? Because Big V was placed on injured reserve as well. He's our right guard. No longer we're going to see him, at least for a month. Frank Ragnow, our center, dealing with another injury again. Why does the injuries keep mounting? I don't know, but they do. Frank Ragnow dealing with an injury. Now, he played week 1, but he should be good to go to play, hopefully, Sunday against the Washington Commanders. He's been dealing with a foot. He's been dealing with a groin. That's what he's going on here. Jonah Jackson as well, dealing with an injury. Our left guard for the Detroit Lions, out on practice. Golly, and Taylor Decker, he returned to practice after sitting out. So that's good that he returned, but he's dealing with calf issues. What in the hell is going on with the Detroit Lions offensive line? What's going on with the injury bug? All offseason, everything good. Training camp good. Regular season, bam, destroyed with injuries. Now you see that guy in the middle there? That player that the Detroit Lions just signed? We're going to talk about this guy. We're going to talk about him right now. Let's go on to talk about Kayode Awosika. He's an offensive lineman the Lions signed, obviously, due to all the injuries that we have here. 6'3", 307, 32 5/8" arms, undrafted last year out of Buffalo, 23 years old. I was doing some research on this guy, and I really like some of the aspects that he brings to the Detroit Lions here. 3-year starter, that's good. Played both tackle spots, good. He's got a build for the interior offensive line. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and if you don't know, Philadelphia Eagles have one of the best offensive lines in all football, so him not making the squad, is that really a bad thing? He's good. He's above average strength to maintain his blocks. Other protection benefits moving from tackles. Not everything is roses regarding K. Too upright, protecting high edge on sets, struggles to redirect. Agility, he may need some help and isolated with against specific rushers. Pass rush, lacks control accuracy. Pad level, needs to wide open base of his blocker, not very athletic. Overview though, what I really like about this guy, you can just read it here, but I'll just give you my 2 cents on this, is the fact that he can play all parts of the offensive line. He can play left tackle, he can play right tackle, he can play both guard spots, and I'm sure in a pinch he can play center. We're good there, though, with Evan Brown. But he can play all parts of the offensive line. And with the injuries that's mounting, that's really important for the Detroit Lions. This guy can play left and right tackle. And what I've been saying with this offensive line is I'm not a fan of the backup tackle, Matt Nelson. I think he's better than Matt Nelson. This guy is universal, and I think with a little push, he can probably be a pretty good backup offensive line for the Detroit Lions. He does kind of remind you of a Tommy Kreamer as a 3-year starter. Well, Kraemer was a 4-year starter at Notre Dame. But he brings experience, and he brings a universal asset to the Lions' offensive line. So I like what he is. A good sign for the Detroit Lions to even find this guy, on another practice squad. And Eagles fans are not happy that we signed him. They liked him. So it's a really good thing that we got him. Good find for Brad Holmes. Good find for the scouts looking for a backup guy. I like the signing, and hopefully he can stay with the Detroit Lions, throughout the season. Even if when Tommy Kreamer comes back, I do like him. So maybe they can keep him on the roster and release somebody else. I'm all about it. I'm all about developing young talent, and he is a young talent for the Lions. He really is. Good find. I like him. I like him quite a bit. I'm not saying this guy is, the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's a good find for the Detroit Lions. You always got to look. I always talk about this. You got to turn over every single rock, no matter what, and consistently look for talent. He's a young player that has talent, so I like it. We'll see when he's going to take him time, obviously, to understand the scheme. But with the injuries mounting, it would not be shock me at all. At some point, he's starting for the Lions at guard. Now, I like Stenberg right now. Stenberg, look, PFF ripped on him. He had some issues with the flags. But given the fact that he is the third offensive guard, he's the third string, and he came in, I thought he did a pretty good job against one of the best defensive lines in all of football. Stenberg is a mauler, and he's not the greatest lineman, but I thought he did a pretty good job given the circumstances. Pushed in there as the third guy. So we're going to see more injuries mount. I think a lot of this is precautionary, but we're talking about week 2. So everybody go ahead and cross their fingers because we need this offensive line to stay healthy for the Detroit Lions. We sure do. It's a must. So we'll see what going forward, though, but good pickup. Not good seeing injuries. Jeffrey Okudah, though, stepping up will help out. DeAndre Swift, I'm sure will play. Jonah Jackson, that one concerns the hell out of me. That does. So we'll see. We'll see going forward. With that said, folks, adios.